Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to cover Chapter 1 of the Introduction to Linux Operating Systems course. Chapter 1 discusses operating systems, Linux operating system, distributions, package managers, licensing, where you can find it. So to start off, we'll discuss operating systems in general. An operating system is the software that manages hardware and software resources on a computer. So it's going to act like an intermediary between users and the computer hardware, providing essential services for all applications and managing tasks like memory allocation, process scheduling, input-output operation, and file management. So common examples of operating systems would be Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Unix. So your iPhone or your Android phone, they would fall under the Mac OS or Linux as far as the operating system goes. So the Linux operating system, start off a little bit of a history of what Linux is. It's a Unix-like open source operating system kernel that was first released in September of 1991 by Linus Torvalds. He initially developed it as a hobby project, but it's grown into a major operating system and used in various environments, ranging from personal computers to servers to embedded systems, including Android phones. The kernel is a core part of the operating system, managing features or hardware and system calls. The combination of the kernel and system software libraries and that stuff, desktops, forms the entire Linux operating system. It's often referred to as a Linux distribution. The Linux distribution, or distro, is a complete operating system. It's based on the Linux kernel bundled with various software packages, including system libraries, applications, and a package management system. Some of the more popular distributions are Ubuntu, which is known for its user-friendliness and strong community support. It's often used in personal computing and server environments. You have Fedora or Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which Fedora is their open source distribution. It's focusing on incorporating the latest technologies, and it's often used by developers. Red Hat Enterprise, obviously, is used by enterprises. Debian, which is what Ubuntu is based off of, it's known for its stability and its vast repository of software used in both personal and server environments. Then you have CentOS, which is a community-supported counterpart to Red Hat Enterprise Linux, used in server environments. And then you have Arch Linux or Slackware, which is a minimalist and flexible distribution that's aimed at more experienced users. So the package management systems or package managers, you have apt, which is the advanced package tool. That's going to be used by your Debian-based distributions like Ubuntu or Debian. You have Yum or DNF, which is used by Red Hat distributions. So Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You have Pacman, which is used by Arch Linux and its derivatives. And then you have Zypper, which is used by OpenSUSE. The package managers are, for the most part, not compatible with each other, although you can install apt on Red Hat. You can't install Red Hat on Debian, though. So, as far as licensing goes, there's various types of licenses that the operating systems are distributed under. And that's going to determine how the software can be used, modified, or shared. So you have proprietary licenses. That's going to be closed source. They restrict the use, modification, and distribution of the software. So think Windows or Mac OS. You have open source licenses. These allow users to freely modify and distribute the software. So you've got the GNU General Public License, which is what Linux is licensed under. So open source licenses also promote the collaboration and transparency. So you've also got permissive licenses like the MIT license, or the more restrictive licenses like the GPL, or the Mozilla Public License or Apache license. The reason they say the GPL is restrictive is because on the GPL, you're allowed to distribute the software, but you have to include the source code, and you have to distribute it under the GPL. Where some of the other licenses, they might allow you to not distribute the source code, or different things like that. So where's Linux used? Linux is versatile. It's used in a wide variety of environments. So servers. Linux dominates the server market due to its stability, security, and performance. It's going to power a large percentage of the world's servers, mainly web servers, web hosting, database, and enterprise applications. Embedded systems, so it's going to be used in embedded systems like routers, smart TVs, automotive infotainment systems, and IoT devices like Raspberry Pis, due to its flexibility and scalability. So if you've ever looked at your router and you've installed something like OpenWRT, that's Linux. Supercomputers, so most of the world's top supercomputers run on Linux due to its high performance and scalability. Performance, or personal computing, while it's not as dominant as Windows or Mac OS in personal computing, it's used by enthusiasts and developers who prefer its customizability and open source nature. And then mobile devices, so Android phones, which is the world's most popular operating system, is based on Linux kernel. It's Linux, and then the desktop environment is the Android shell that you see. So in conclusion, Linux is a robust, flexible, and open source operating system with a rich history and wide range of applications. Its various distributions and package managers cater to different user needs and performances, making it a versatile choice for personal, enterprise, and specialized computing environments. The open source licensing of Linux fosters innovation, collaboration, contributes to its widespread adoption and continued development. Thank you.